Okay, people. I want to make something clear. When I make videos, I often have outspoken views, and I concede that. I do. And I use YouTube as a way to vacuum my feelings on a wide range of subjects. Um, but I also try to be fair and objective. Sometimes, granted, I have a rant. I feel quite angry on a certain subject and I have a bit of a rant. But I always try to be fair. And this video I'm about to make, well, the video I'm making, I should say, is one such example. We have a show in the UK called The Jeremy Kyle Show. Some of my American subscribers might be familiar with this because it's been, you know, have it as well. It's been transported over there. But it's a very controversial show and with good cause. And I have spoken quite significantly. I've made a few videos about how much I hate the show. Well, I don't unsay anything that I've said in those videos. I stand by it absolutely. And I still think it is a sick show that I would prefer not to be on air. I'm not going to say I want to ban it because I know that goes down another line, but I don't like a show one little bit. I think it is predominantly bad. However, when I criticize something, I seek to be fair. Sometimes the critique is very sharp and very blunt, but I do seek to be fair. Now, I've just seen a video, and the video is one of the very few occasions where I will commend Jeremy Kyle. Can't believe I'm saying those words. I will commend Jeremy Kyle. I said it. Because it's no mystery that he's not my favourite person in the world. But this is the context. He had an episode whereby the guest was a victim of domestic violence. Now, Jeremy has had a number of women who have had abusive boyfriends, and the audience has booed, and the person has been shamed, and so on. Let's face it, guys who beat up their girlfriends are not very pleasant individuals. But on this episode, he had a young man who was describing that he, after a heated argument, his aggressive girlfriend was trying to get into the room. He locked the door, and he actually jumped out the window. It was low level, and he injured himself. Now, the audience started sniggering. Probably not all the audience, but a good portion of them started sniggering. And you could tell by Jeremy Kyle's expression that he was uneasy about this. So after about a minute of the guy speaking, he turned around and said, "Look, I know you've come here, so I don't want to attack you, but," and then he started getting angry. "If this was a woman sitting here, you would not be taking that response, and you certainly wouldn't be laughing." So I have to say this is one of the very few occasions where I will commend Jeremy Kyle. He was right to shame the audience. Um, and it is also good that he is highlighting the issue of domestic violence against men. Anyway, he brought out the girlfriend. She was horrible, very aggressive, straight into yelling at the guy and just, not giving much empathy to herself whatsoever. But what I would say is there is, you reap what you sow. I've always had no respect whatsoever for the sort of people that go on that program to laugh and to jeer at other people's troubles. Um, I really do question the moral compass. I don't know what sort of people would find that sort of shit entertaining at all. It's good that Jeremy Kyle shamed them, but let's not forget his show produces these sort of people. I mean, if you have a show that is catered towards stirring up people's emotions for entertainment, then what do you expect? That's exactly the sort of audience that you're going to attract. So yes, it is good that he shamed them, but that's the sort of people that you're going to attract in the first place. And in my view, the sort of people that go into the Jeremy Kyle audience are many of them are basically scumbags. They want to feel good about themselves by laughing at the misfortunes of others. And I don't care if I make myself unpopular with Jeremy Kyle fans. That's how you come across. Now, it's good that Jeremy Kyle shamed them, but my sort of thinking is, well, you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. If his show hadn't been catered towards a sort of shallow, vacuous morons that make up the studio audience and a lot of the people who watch it at home, then you wouldn't have that situation to begin with. So yes, it's good that he's raising awareness of this issue, but I would argue there's better ways to do it. Um, I'm not sure if bringing on the abusive partner on the national TV is the right approach. I think someone like her needs to be arrested. Um, but I just don't see how people's emotional turmoil should be used as entertainment. But anyway, just to exemplify the fact that I do try to be fair and objective, this is one of the very few occasions where I'll say, yeah, Jeremy Kyle got it right this time. He was right to shame the audience. Nevertheless, it's his producers that invite those sort of people onto the show in the first place. And it's sort of like, he reminds me a little bit of a rabble rouser who then tries to have damage limitation and tries to put a little bit of water on the fire. So he stirs up the rabble and then he tries to tone it down a little bit. Because the way this show is marketed, that is precisely the sort of people you're going to attract. And if you have been on in the Jeremy Kyle audience, I've got no respect for you. What sort of person are you that you would go in there and jeer a man who's going through emotional abuse and violent abuse in that way? What sort of person are you? Perhaps it does signify something that is a wider problem in society, which is that society seems to find it funny when a man is the victim of female violence. Um, so I suppose you'd have to give the show some props for raising awareness of that. But I still stand by the other videos I made. I still think this show is rubbish, and I've got no time for it. But that does really exemplify something that is a wider problem in society. Let me know your thoughts.